Hello, 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 and welcome to another Motivation Monday. Well, folks, I know it's Tuesday, but I'm gonna be honest with you, as I always do. Yesterday, what I wasn't very motivated yesterday. In fact, I wish I would have read the word that I have for you today on yesterday. It might have been a little bit better day. Um, it's been kind of a crazy few days lately. Many times when things are getting ready to break loose for you, it looks like all hell is breaking loose. Deals are going crazy. Accidents happening that are uncalled for. Just everything that you can imagine starts happening. But I am truly blessed to have a great staff that, when I'm going through, they can kind of tell what it is, and I can call and they'll tell me the truth, And I just want to say thank you to my assistant Susie for today. She kind of reminded me of some things that I kind of forget. When you get in the middle of a battle, many times you forget some of the lessons that you've learned in the battle. And I have a word for you guys today. And I think we're all kind of struggling with the same thing. That's why I do this show. Because many times I know if you're like me, you have emotional ups and downs. Some days you're motivated, other days you're not. Today happened to be, I woke up unmotivated, and throughout the day, a lot of things were going on, a lot of great things that are going on right now. But it seems that my mind wants to continue to go to the woe and the dough and all the crap that's going on and focusing on that, and really makes me feel depressed. Let's call it like it is. It has a way of getting me depressed. Although we have everything to live for, we have a lot of great things going on in our lives right now. But sometimes I think that my mental thoughts, your thoughts, can sabotage what you're trying to do. And I believe that's what's been happening to me is not just today, but throughout my lifetime. When things are going very, very well, I start anticipating something bad coming, and ultimately that does happen. And I had someone tell me that today, and it was like, wow, you're preaching to the choir. I do know that, my thoughts are very, very strong. I can think about something and things that can manifest itself immediately. So I want to read this word to you. We don't have many people here today with you, but I'd like you to listen to this word. It really did bless me. After I didn't read it early this morning. I just read it about 30 minutes ago, and I wish I had gotten up this morning and read this. I might have been prepared for today. But here we go, March the 30th, 2021. Do what you can to establish and maintain spiritual and emotional balance? It is imperative that you stay strong and steady, especially when faced with uncertainty and upheaval. I will give you wisdom in accommodating the challenge, and if you put your trust in me. Psalms 9 and 10, it says, and those who know your name will put your trust in you, for the Lord have not forsaken those who seek him. Y'all, let me just tell you, man, my I was way down about an hour ago, man. I was thinking about, all the negative. I wanted to quit, shut the company, man, why am I doing this? I don't have to do this. All of the stuff that comes up when you're going through it, or for me, that when I'm going through it, why am I even doing this? And then I called and got my assistant on the line, and she reminded me very, very eloquently that I'm not necessarily doing this for me. I don't necessarily do it for the money. It's not, I don't do it to make money. I do it. I have to make money for it to make sense. But I do this for the people. I do what I do to help people. I really enjoy the work I do. I enjoy helping people who otherwise would not have owned homes had they not found us, or people that have dreamed about owning homes and never been able to get it together. Those are the people I do it for. I do it for my family, my grandkids. I want my grandkids to see me get up and go to work every day for myself. And then when they see me when I'm not working, I want to be attentive to who they are and what they do. So, today's wisdom Monday, Motivation Monday. It's Tuesday, I know, but I had no motivation yesterday, as I can just tell you guys the truth. I came home early Monday morning. I had some things that happened on the road, while I was out on the road on my bike. I don't even want to get into that today, but I do have to go put my bike in the shop to get some stuff done. And long story short, that's kind of what kind of blew me away. Brand new bike, got to go back in the shop. So I was a little disappointed with that. Then I got in, and then we had a deal kind of going sideways. And then I got to deal with that. And then they just, you know how it just comes one thing after another after that. But when I read the word this morning, it said March 30th, 2021, do what you can to establish and maintain a spiritual and emotional balance. That's where I've been out of lane. You know, I just been out of whack spiritually, you know, for the last week or two. I've been just really trying to figure out where am I at, you know, spiritually. Sometimes I can really feel the presence of the Lord. Other times I cannot. And, you know, I have some ideas of what's going on, and I'm working on change in that area. But the one thing that I can say is that life continues to go on. If you're like me, you really don't have anything to worry about. You're alive. You ate dinner. You ate breakfast this morning. You have a place to sleep tonight. And what the word said is do what you can to establish and maintain a spiritual and emotional balance. You know, my spiritual life, I go too far spiritually sometimes, and I become emotionally bankrupt, or I become depressed, or because things are not progressing the way I assume that they should. And then many times I look too far ahead. Well, how am I going to pay these bills next week or next month or next year? Or what do we got coming up next month or next year? When really we have to get in the now, right now. I've read the book several times. I'm going to have to go back and read it tonight. A book that I've read several times about practicing the power of now, right now. Okay, don't worry about what happened yesterday when I was out on the road. Yeah, there were some things that went on out there I don't really want to discuss. And then when you think too far ahead, you know, what do I have coming up? You know, what do I have to do tomorrow? What do I have to do in 2 weeks? You know, what do I have to do next month? You know, and when I do that too much, I become anxious. And then when I think too far back, then I become depressed. So what God is telling us right now, do what you can to establish and maintain a spiritual and emotional balance. And I've been out of balance the last week or so. Just everything didn't feel right. You know, and even to the point where, you know, you start getting these crazy thoughts like I'm going to quit. Man, I should just give up. Man, if I just disappear, nobody would recognize that I'm even, you know, all the stuff that we say to ourselves, the negative stuff that we say to ourselves. But then the word came this morning and said, do what you can to establish and maintain a spiritual and emotional balance. That's really all we all want in it, just to be in balance. To be out of balance is to suffer. You know, whether you're anxious or depressed, to be out of balance is to suffer, but to get into the now. So I decided today I'm going to come on and do my Motivation Monday on Tuesday, because I skipped it yesterday because, like I said, I didn't have anything motivating to say yesterday. In fact, I needed to be motivated yesterday myself. And so I didn't come on yesterday, and I said, you know what? You just put one foot in front of the other, and we're just going to go back and do it anyway. We can do it anywho, anywhy, because we can. But I appreciate you guys stopping through today to holler at your boy. You know, I'm just I was going through it earlier. Now I'm not. I was able to make a call too. I made a call to someone very special. It's on my staff, actually. She sees me. She goes through a lot of ups and downs with me. And she called and she said, Kenny, you tripping? I said, man, I know I'm tripping. But she helped get me back to where I needed to be. It made me go back to my word. Because when you get out of line and you start feeling like a little down, I think a great place to go is go back to your word. Just pick up your word and read it. Because I believe God has refreshed me with his word today. Because he told me just do what you can to establish and maintain a spiritual and emotional balance. And that's where I get crazy, man. My emotions are up and down and up and down. This morning, I found myself sitting here crying. And I'm like, what the heck are you crying about? I really don't have any worry in the world right now. Why are you sitting here crying? Yes, you guys, I was sitting here crying this morning because I just didn't, I wasn't feeling right. Can I just say it like that? I was feeling like where I'm headed is all not happening right. I was feeling like, why am I going through all these extra motions when I can take the easy route. I don't have to have no company. I don't have to run no company. I can go work in somebody else's company and release all the responsibilities of owning a company and management of a business and maintaining the records and the books and the finances and all the things that go on and on and on when you run a business. People say, well, I want to start my own business. You better be careful what you ask for, because when you do ask for it, there's a lot of responsibility that goes into running a business, and especially when you have employees, and the employees work for you, and they can tell when things are not right with you. So the morale in the company goes down when my morale goes down. When I'm up and I'm fired up, they're fired up. And that's what I'm working on right now, is not be hot nor cold. Just kind of get in the middle. Do what I can to establish and maintain a spiritual and emotional balance. I've been out of balance, y'all, emotionally, just up and down. One day, like I say, one day I'm hot, the next day I'm cold, one day I'm feeling it, the next day I'm not, and over my lifetime, I've said this and I will never say this again, is that usually, because this is how I sabotage myself. On Sunday, everything was feeling so good. It was like a blissful day. It was just, I was out on my motorcycle. The sun was out. The weather was perfect. My music was perfect. I was rested, and I'm just riding. And I'm riding. And then, and in my mind, somewhere during the day, I said, man, this is so beautiful. As soon as I said, what if, man, if I could just live like this day, every day, all day, it would be incredible. So what happened is I let some negative stuff into my mind. In less than 5 minutes of letting that in my mind, something happened that I really don't want to talk about, because it's a little embarrassing if you want to know the truth about it. But it's God's will. And I'm like, God, why? And what he said, I just need to get your attention. You need to start practicing now. You were getting beside yourself. You were thinking too far ahead. You were trying to, instead of you just enjoying this moment of bliss that you have, where the sun is up perfectly, the bike was running great, the smell was beautiful, the weather, the wind was blowing right through my hair perfectly. I was feeling like $1 million. And then I took a minute off to dwell on something I should not have even considered. And then it manifested itself into what it did. That's going to cost me some money. Okay, that's just simple. I don't care about if I would have just remained in where I was, if I would have just remained and kept my spiritual and emotional balance. It is imperative that you stay strong and steady, especially when you face with uncertainty and evil. You got to stay steady. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. The world is still upside down. Things are not back to normal. And he said, I will give you wisdom to accommodate what does it say? To accommodate the change. He's going to give us the power. He gave it to me. He gave me exactly what to do today to get out of my funk. I got out of my funk because I called a staff meeting today. I called my sister, said, what? I need everybody. I want all hands on deck today. I got something to say. And my sister, she's so damn smart. She didn't do what I told her to do, but she came on the line. She let me vent, say all the stuff I had to say. And she said, sir, you're your biggest enemy. You don't love yourself. Say, love yourself. Yeah, you're worrying about things you shouldn't even have to worry about. You're thinking about things that you don't even need to think about. Stay positive. But even when we do that, we have a tendency to stray to the negative, or my habit is to think of what's could happen. And what God said is do what you can to establish and maintain a spiritual and emotional balance. Many of us, there's a word that we say, you so spiritual, so heavenly bound, you ain't no earthly good. And you can get so on the other side of things that you do no good here on earth. And that's where I was yesterday on Sunday, not just Sunday, on my way home from Los Angeles. Many of you guys saw the pictures. I was down in LA at a party, hung out with some friends, went up to Lancaster, Palmdale to hang out with some of my boys for a minute, see my uncle, the oldest member of my family. I wanted to go up and see him. He's getting up in age. I don't get to see him often. And I said, you know what? I'm going up here to see my uncle today. And so on my way up there, things were just great. The sun was good. The weather was perfect. The bike was sounding good. My music was popping. And I was just sitting there, and I was just like, and I was like, oh my God, if I could just live in this space right here. And then I said, but then I started thinking about, but as soon as you say, but, That's when, like less than 5 minutes, all hell broke loose. It went from bliss to upheaval. It went from bliss to just total chaos in my own mind. And so today, been fighting it for 2 days, and I didn't do the show yesterday because of it. I wasn't gonna do anything today because of it. And then I said, you know what? One thing I do is they ain't gonna hold up my hustle. Okay, I don't care what Satan, he comes to kind of kill, steal, and destroy. He comes to take your mind. Because if he can get your mind, he can have your heart. If he can get anything, and guess what? If he ain't got, he just seeps into your mind, and then he lives rent free in your head. And then you start pondering all this crap, and all the crap that you ponder tends to find you. Haven't you noticed that whatever you think about, the thing that you fear the most is the thing that comes upon you? That's my story. The very things that I fear the most, I think into existence myself. And I'm like, damn, how could that happen? How could this thing be so precise to know exactly what they do to get me? Why? Because Satan is living in your thoughts. If you think about something too long, it will manifest itself, good or bad. So when we manifest good thoughts and think of those things which are good, which are pure, or which are a good report, and focus on those things. And that's where I'm at today. That's my motivation money. Think on those things which are good, or that are heavenly, that are beautiful. Do not allow your mind to go casting down imaginations in every high thought that exalts itself against it. You got to live in the moment. And that's what I'm going to. Y'all pray for me. Pray that I learn better how to live in the moment and not so much in the past. The past kills me all the time, and looking too far in the future, it breaks the whole thing. It's like I'm fighting against myself. So again, keep your mind straight. Pray for me, y'all. Keep my mind straight. Keep my mind in an even place. Don't be thinking too low of myself. Think more highly of myself than I do, because normally I'm just a cat. I don't think I'm no better, no worse than anybody else. But sometimes we can sabotage ourselves with our thoughts. Or at least say, I have sabotaged myself with my thoughts. And then I come against how do you leave a company like I had? Well, I thought about what if and guess what? Like that, it was gone. I said to myself, what if, my bike is running good, I'm ready to go. And then just like that, something happened to the bike where I got to go through all this extra stuff to get my bike the way I want it, because I'm tripping on something that I manifested that thing myself in my own mind. Just like I manifested this company, I manifested, but then you manifest good, but then you can also manifest evil and bad. So we got to be careful of our minds and what we think and what we hear and what we let get into our eyes and what we contemplate. That's my motivation Monday. There's nothing wrong with you. Like there's nothing wrong with me. It's just that your stinking thinking is causing all these problems to manifest themselves in your life. How do you get by it? You have to establish and maintain a spiritual and emotional balance with God. That's the only way to do it. You can't do it by yourself. If you could, you would not need God. God said if you come to him, he would ask him for wisdom, he would give it to you. He can't have me come on today because I know whoever these two people in the room, I can imagine that you guys are going to go through something. You're going to say, you know what? I'm not thinking about that today. I'm not thinking about that. My mama used to say, no, I'm not thinking about that today, son. I go to work with a problem. She said, I don't want to talk about that today. I want to keep my mind where I need it to be today. For right now, because we control our minds. That's my motivation Monday. You guys pray for me. The word says March 30th, 2021, do what you can to establish and maintain spiritual and emotional balance. It is imperative that you stay strong and steady, especially when faced with uncertainty and upheaval. I will give you wisdom to accommodate the change. You will once again find a sense of normal, but not without effort and putting your trust in me. That's my word today. That's it right there. That's the closing point. I will give you wisdom in accommodating the change, but you will once again find a sense of normal, but not without effort and putting your trust in me. Put your trust in God. Believe that it is, it was, it will be. And leaving those things which were behind, pressing toward the mark. And that's what I'm preaching to me today, leaving them things behind. All that stuff I left behind is gone. I don't even want it no more. And you can have it. I'm not interested. I'm going to move toward my destiny and cut all the crap out of my life. Cut the crap out of my thoughts. All right, you guys have a blessed day. Thanks for stopping through. Share my Motivation Monday. Somebody else may be going through it. You know, these are days when people like myself think about committing suicide. It's days like today when people like myself, we think about ending it all. We feel like running away. We feel like getting, and it's nothing more than a trick of the enemy to get you to not be present when your blessings show up. That's what God, that's what his job is to say, well, look, God did, look what God made you. You did that, huh? Look what God did. He didn't. See, that's how the Satan is. He's an accuser of the brother. He want to accuse and make you feel small. Okay, but in spite of all that, we're big because he said, establish and maintain a spiritual balance with God. And you can't go wrong. Stay in the moment. Don't go too far back. And definitely don't look too far ahead. God bless you. Peace and blessings.